traffic report that claimed 50 lives. We have details to this.
As the beginning of first term nears, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has urged schools to ensure that school shuttles are well serviced for safe transportation of children to schools.
Amasomero ago gonna agayina emmotoka ezitambuza bano abaana mulina olabika nti emmotoka zaabwe.
All schools that have shuttles should ensure their vehicles are in good mechanical conditions. Drivers should also avoid excess loading.
Abaana abangi ennyo abasuuka mwabo etteeka ebaragira mu mmotoka zino.
Parents and school-going children have been advised to be vigilant with the different means of transport they opt to use, since kidnaps are very common.
Parents should ensure their children have their contacts off head, as well that of the police in case of any emergencies.
Meanwhile, the Directorate of Crime Intelligence has confirmed the arrest of 13 suspects linked to the robbery of 2.2 billion shillings belonging to city business tycoon Haj Sulaiman Mafabi.
They tracked down Lukomwa Ivan, alias Palazzo, age 25, a resident of Nyendo, in connection with the robbery of cash which occurred in the home of Ajulu Moro and his wife, Honorable Ambassador Nekesa. It took them about 3 days of active surveillance to arrest the suspect along Edward Street in Masaka. Upon further interrogation, he admitted to having participated.
Police in Aswa region has arrested 7 suspects and recovered a gun that was stolen from the OC, leading to his untimely death.
Where they arrested 7 suspects who were linked to multiple incidents of armed robberies, store breakings, and related acts of threatening violence. The operation was carried out in Bargoma village by Yula sub-county Pader, where a gun was recovered. This is the gun which was stolen from Ongom police post, if you remember, sometime the other year. And because of fear, the OC of that police post went and committed suicide after losing that police gun.
Police also appeals to locals to remain vigilant and watch out for illegal activities being carried out around their areas. Patricia Nandago and Rogers Komagon for UBC.
Government, through Ministry of Education and Sports, has reiterated its commitment to support Makerere University in its quest to become a premier research institute. While officiating at the 74th graduation ceremony of Makerere University at their Freedom Square on behalf of the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Jesse Muyingo, appreciated the university for collaborating with government, ministries, departments and agencies to come up with solutions to challenges faced by the various sectors.
For all those persons whose names have been read, the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery of Makerere University.
Makerere University has commenced a 5-day conferment of degrees, master's degrees and diplomas in various disciplines during the 74th graduation ceremony.
That you will not employ any secret method of treatment, nor keep secret from your colleagues any method of treatment that you may consider beneficial.
Makerere University has recognized Professor Leif Abrahamson, who has received Honorary Doctor of Science, and others who have excelled in service to humanity.
Not least, the East African University's mathematics program that you heard about, the EAUMP, all the dedicated staff members, students, and all the people behind it.
Betty Oyela Bigombe has been awarded an honorary doctorate in law for demonstrating unwavering commitment to peace and diplomacy in Uganda and the region.
My alma mater motivates me to continue to persist tirelessly in my pursuit for peace and equity at home, in neighboring countries, and on the continent and the continent overseas. And I will continue to amplify the voices of the silenced and forgotten in war-torn countries.
Justice Egonda Ntende from the Court of Appeal was honored for serving in the judiciary for over 40 years. He says in this career, he looked at breathing life into the works of the Constitution.
Once inside, I understood that legal acumen and zeal, obviously essential attributes of any judge, were insufficient to breathe life into the otherwise lifeless words of our Constitution and other laws. One had to double as a development practitioner, a change agent, to contribute to the transformation of the judiciary into an effective and efficient body that renders justice to all without fear or favor.
State Minister for Education John Chrysostom Moyengo appreciated Makerere University for becoming a research lead and reiterated government commitment to see it become premier.
That the researchers from the various colleges, institutes and centers are engaged in community outreach activities that are improving the impact of research in the country. Some of these include the anti-tick vaccine trial in the districts of Kyangwanzi, Luwero and Nakaseke, providing care for the more than 20% of all the HIV patients in Uganda who require antiretroviral, providing data to government ministries for the...
During this graduation, 5 researchers from 10 colleges and Makerere University Library have been recognized as the best researchers.
Government of Uganda through the Micheal University Research and Innovation Fund for funding the digitalizing of academic records and process in the Academic Registrars Department, and through the Massacre Relief Fund for the digitization of academic records and processes, as well as the procurement of equipment. The main objective of the project is to improve the status of academic records and processes in the Academic Registrars Department, a move from manual processes to e-services and processes.
12,913 graduates will graduate during the 74th graduation ceremony of Makerere University, with 11,016 getting bachelor's degrees and 1,585 with master's degrees. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lukomwa in Kampala.
Minister for General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, Justin Kasule Lumumba, has acknowledged the commitment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, to working with Wananchi to defeat negative elements in the country and beyond. She was presiding over the launch of the 43rd Terehit anniversary celebrations and Defence Forces Week activities at Hindocha Primary School playgrounds in Bujiri District.
Continue by the Front for National Salvation Circuit to retrace historical footprints of the founders of Uganda Revolution, as well as appreciate the contribution of the people of Busoga region to the liberation struggle. It will be celebrated on the theme, celebrating the people's struggle for unity, security, and peace for socio-economic transformation. Kasule Lumumba revealed that the UPDF has made Uganda a transformed society with its ever-increasing capabilities that ensure the country's territorial integrity and also contributes to regional stability. She applauded the UPDF for the quick response to the areas that were affected by war, especially where they renovated a building at Buterere Primary School.
So I would really request, if it means even making it part of the activities, uniform to mobilizing abantu bemuterera abebulesa n'abebulugwi n'okutyama obutyame nabo nimubeebaza nti ekigambo mwebale kibayize engulu.
Bujiri District Woman Member of Parliament Etakewe Agnes Julie thanked UPDF for having invested resources in the anniversary celebrations.
Oraido nakyogeire kwe buyende muli a force which is part of government. Ayenze kulwange mbonanga mu challenge nze ino government wairenga neba wa budget ye mukozesa okubanga musobola okola enteekateeka nti wamugire mwatu omukolo region ye mugiremu buli district ebakunika egabana okubanga basobola okusigala n'akabonero nti lwaki mwatwalayo omukolo ogwo.
Major General Jack Abakasumba, the Chief of Staff Land Forces who represented the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbadi, said that the UPDF as a people's army has started a strategic link between the people and symbolically give back to the population in a form of quick impact projects to be handed over on the 5th of February 2024.
So we choose this such that we get to be with the people and them with us. Then we are here also to express our solidarity with you.
In attendance were RDC Bujiri Mwidu Paul, Kasaja Davidson Mulumba, LC5 Chairperson, Colonel Stefan Onata, among others.
Because they are part of
State Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Persis Namuganza, has hailed the UPDF for restoring peace in the country. She was officiating at the 43rd Teresa Week launch for Namutumba district.
The 6th of February dates back to 1981 when Yoweri Museveni led a rebel group of the National Resistance Army (NRA) launched an armed rebellion against the government of Aplomiton Obote. It is 43 years since, and the UPDF is in Busoga sub-region to doing community work, painting, renovating roads and schools, hospitals and healthy camps.
mututambuze bulungi era paka na buti buzira buzibona.
In Namutumba district, hundreds have gathered at district headquarters for the launch of Tarahisita Celebration Week. Cultural, religious and political leaders have appreciated UPDF for protecting its citizens. The function started with tree planting. Minister Namuganza appreciated President Museveni for the fight to liberate Uganda.
Uganda has experienced very uneasy days. Way back, you remember the war of Kony? Everybody in Uganda, young or old, we got to know Kony. And Joseph Kony, they don't only stop there, but his sister, Alisla Queen, crossed to Busoga. That lady intimidated Basogas. Basogas knew that the death had come for all of Basogas to perish. Young or old, we are all intimidated. And that's the song I was singing, a famous song which hit Busoga, where someone was appreciating the UPDF and His Excellency the President of Uganda.
Representing the CDF, General Sam Kavuma informed the people that the Tarahisita is a reminder of the ongoing commitment to economic recovery and development. Yusuf Obo compiled this report for UBC News.
The Association of Automotive Engineers has officially registered Uganda's first ever manufactured car, the Kyola Bus, produced by Kyola Motors Corporation under vehicle registration number 001. Science and Technology Minister Dr. Monica Musenero, flanked by officials from Kyola Motors Corporation, delivered the bus to its inaugural client, the Uganda Airlines in Entebbe.
Science and Technology Minister Dr. Monica Musenero, flanked by officials from Kyola Motors, handed over the keys of the new Kyola diesel bus to Uganda Airlines officials in Entebbe.
Thank you very much. We receive it in the name
This custom-designed bus, tailored to the customer's specific needs, falls under the Euro for emission standards of sustainable transportation.
It's a show-off. It has an onboard clean, what you would call relate to an airplane toilet. So for convenience purposes, you don't have to make stops for this purpose. Secondly, this bus comes with an all-point air conditioning system. So at every seat, the people on board have access and can control their own air conditioning. It has, of course, it boasts with 2 flippable screens for entertainment on board. It has what we call a PA system, public address system, both for the driver and also for the narrator on board. Then, of course, it has been made with the most exquisite and premium materials. The leather seats, as you've seen, the premium material for the interior panels. The exterior has been designed and customized to the customer's requirements. And the other aspect that we can boast of this, that it has heated side mirrors. For this one, it's a push of a button. Give it a few seconds and you're ready to go for your journey.
Dr. Msenero reveals that Kyola Motors' order book for both electric and diesel buses has grown exponentially.
Since we started really demonstrating that we have mature technology, and we have worked very closely with many clients, CAA, to test our technology. Otherwise, the orders are more than the buses that we have, but we shall keep churning them off.
Captain Stephen Wegoe, who received the bus on behalf of Uganda Airlines, emphasized the airline's dedication to the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda initiative in their operations.
And we have tested the product and we have loved it, and we would need them. And some of these buses, we may need them specifically for the airside. The airside buses are not the same as the one we use on the land side. Land side is away from the airport. So we shall sit down on that note when the management makes a decision on when to get more buses, and we discuss on that.
Britam Insurance Company has also provided a comprehensive coverage for this bus.
What we are giving Uganda Airlines is an enhanced third party. In other words, anything that this bus should cause that belongs to a third party shall be compensated by Britam up to a tune of 800 million Uganda shillings. That is 200 million Uganda shillings for a bodily injury, 300 million for a series of injuries, and then 300 million for property that the bus may harm.
Have you gone to a tailor before for a bespoke outfit? Well, that is exactly what Uganda Airlines did with this bus. They placed an order and specifications, and Kyola Motors Corporation was ready to serve them. 4 weeks later, you're looking at the very fast Kyola diesel bus with the VIN number of 0001. Sharon Chomjisha, UBC News.
The Forum for Democratic Change has demanded government to release all political prisoners following the recent presidential pardon to some prisoners. FDC spokesperson John Chikonyogo told the media at the party offices in Najanankombi that government needs to consider their plea. He clarified allegations by one Moses Simbwa during the celebrations to mark Liberation Day. Chikonyogo also said that the FDC party continues with the countrywide mobilization tour.
At the same time, where necessary, we have been doing some reconciliation and identification of candidates. After Nabinonya, we agreed that our senior leaders will go out and talk to our members. So as a party, this has been an exercise which has been ongoing since then. They met, they interacted with them, they listened to their concerns, and together they suggested solutions. This is an exercise which is helping us a lot to rebuild our party. And as FDC, that in the same vein, they should release all political prisoners. We want all political prisoners released. In NRM 38th victory anniversary, which was held in Jinja, is a one Moses Simbwa who made headlines when he openly confessed that was being used by the opposition to defame government. We never torture claims. Your father claimed that the opposition uses drones to abduct members in order to taint the image of the government. We in FDC.
High Court Criminal Division has ordered prosecution to file written submissions in the bail applications of 4 suspects accused in businessman Henry Katanga murder. The case is before Judge Isaac Muwata of High Court Criminal Division in Kampala.
4 suspects in the murder case of businessman Henry Katanga, Ewan Martha Nkwanzi Katanga, Patricia Kakwanza, daughter to the deceased, Otai Charise family doctor, and Umanyire Godfrey Shamba boy, have appeared at High Court Criminal Division in Kampala to hear their bail application. The case is before Judge Isaac Muwata. The poor quality of sureties documents, which were served to prosecution, stalled hearing of the case.
In position to file a response to this application.
Defense, however, objected to the prosecution's prayers.
It will be the 10th time. So we are shocked but not surprised. 7 times before the magistrate. This will be the 3rd before you, my lord. So that will be the 10th time. 10.
Prosecution also objected to the alleged sworn-in affidavit.
My lord, it is also important, as my land friend pointed out, that the issues she's raising, we shall supply her, as court has ruled, with the original documents that she wants.
We have never filed a response to this bail application. How would we?
And by the time of filing this affidavit, my lord, it was not as a substantive response, but as a preliminary point of law, not to entertain the bail application until the revision application is determined.
After the submissions, Judge Isaac Muwata ordered prosecution to respond to the bail application by Friday.
We are not working. We shall adjourn it the 12th, when it will come for mention. Normally we, but now shall mention it. Now, I know you will tell me. If you have anything to do, please exchange your documents.
The case was adjourned to 12th February 2024. For mention of the case, the accused have been further remanded. Meanwhile, Nakawa Magistrates Court has set 12th February 2024 to commit the 4 suspects in High Court in the murder case of senior prosecutor Joan Kagezi. Although court was to commit them today, this was impossible, since the trial magistrate Elias Kakoza was indisposed. The accused persons in the matter include Chibuka John, Masajage John, Chiseka Dan, and Nasul Abdara. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
And from court, we'll take a very short break. On return, we'll have more. Please keep it with us. UBC News tonight.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200K to stock my shop. the signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hustle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
In the production process of Aquafina, we expertly filter every drop, providing clear and perfect tasting water to help you keep hydrated with the added benefit of minerals. Aquafina is bottled by Pepsi Cola International in Uganda and is available at only 1,000 shillings.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Now, ahead of the reopening of schools next week, fire outbreaks could still pose a danger to the lives of learners if not addressed. A recent study by National Building Review Board indicates that only 13% of dormitories in the country are within the occupancy limit. This underscores the need to implement basic requirements set by Ministry of Education and Sports, as well as safety and security guidelines issued by police.
Occurrences like these often cause agony
tears and trauma. Most times, children in school are the victims of fire outbreaks. Human action is the most contributing factor.
And by human action, I mean arson and negligence. So these others, the electrical installation and so on, contribute only a third. So now we have a clear problem in our hands.
A study conducted by the National Building Review Board indicates that 52% of fire outbreaks occur in commercial buildings, 35 in schools, and 13 in residential areas.
Whereas all the schools that were visited were accessible by a fire tender, some of the buildings within these schools could not be accessed. So you have the main gate where a truck can come through, but not all the buildings within the school complex could be accessed.
On January 15th, 2022, 4 children of between 4 to 13 years of age were burnt to death at New Crest Kibedi School. On 25th October 2022, Salama School for the Blind in Mukono, Central Uganda, suffered acts of arson. 12 children died and 4 were admitted in critical condition. These were between the ages of 8 to 12. A similar fire incident affected Kasana Junior School in Nyendo, Masaka City, when 7 children died and 5 were seriously injured. They were between the ages of 6 to 8. The study reveals open risks that could lead to similar incidents.
Only 3 schools had carried out a fire safety assessment by the time. You can imagine, only 3. 3, none of the schools had a fire hydrant.
As schools open next week, there is need to adopt firefighting skills as demonstrated here.
Now, this is something anyone can do and everyone can. It's just seeing and knowing. We advise that a minimum, you must service your extinguisher at least once a year. There shouldn't be a scenario where a year goes by and these have not been serviced.
Some of us, when we see this, we think we are safe. When there is a fire, they will put it off. And yet the thing is not serviced. And if it's not serviced, it's useless. You rather get your buckets of water.
The study conducted in Imbarara, Hoima and Fort Portal saw about 120 schools inspected. 60 of these were government-owned, while the rest were private schools. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lijong, has committed to enhance bilateral relations between Uganda and China, while his Ugandan counterpart, State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Henry Okello, asked Chinese investors to focus on strategic industrial development in Uganda. This was during the Chinese community in Uganda celebrations of the Spring Festival of the Year Dragon in 2024 at Kololo Independence Grounds.
Brave and cordial welcome of members of the Chinese community living in Uganda at Kyola Independence Grounds for China's Lunar New Year celebrations resonates a feel at home. The Spring Festivals of the Year of Dragon are celebrations to usher out the old year and bring forth the luck and prosperity.
China Lunar Year about is like the time for the family to get together, and then for your relatives, you look for the connection between you and your family, and you should get a good rest after a year of hard work. So we want all the friends to enjoy our temple fair, have fun, and be joyful to do some fun activity in our Chinese embassy.
The Chinese culture, and that be many people from Uganda
and all the other countries come here to enjoy.
It's the biggest traditional festival in China. So all the Chinese, they will get together, sit with the family to enjoy the feast.
Having a common goal and a common bringing China and Uganda together, building Uganda and China together.
Later in the night, the Embassy of China treated the Chinese community to a dinner graced by the Minister of State for International Relations, Henry Okello Oryem, who represented the Ugandan government. Minister Henry Okello Oryem called upon China investors to prioritize strategic industrial development than assembling imported products.
Your presence in Uganda is very important for us.
在座所有的中国人在乌干达的这个出席对我们来说都是非常非常重要的。
Many of you have set up factories in Uganda.
你们很多人在乌干达建厂。
Invested money in Uganda.
在乌干达投资。
You are paying taxes. You are employing our youth.
你们在这里缴税，在这里雇佣我们的这个本地人。
All these are very positive things.
这些对于乌干达来说都是非常重要的事情。
So we want to invest. We want to invest the kind of investment that can save our foreign exchange from being wasted in buying luxurious things and luxurious goods, which could easily be built in Uganda and constructed in Uganda.
这对于建立我们的这个外汇储备，然后保护我们的这个金融安全都是非常重要的。
So these are the kind of industries we want.
所以这个工业的发展是非常重要的。
China Ambassador to Uganda Zhang Lizong committed to enhance bilateral ties between the two countries by increasing opportunities in trade, commerce and cultural collaboration.
China-Uganda relationship at the best time in the histories. This last year, for 1 year, we have received so many business delegations from China, and they're looking for opportunities to expand the trade and investment. And as a matter of fact, many of them have decided to invest in Uganda. Uganda enjoys a good business environment. Especially, you have enjoyed long-term political stabilities. That's the biggest advantage to attract foreign investors.
At around 10 p.m., the fireworks lit the skies as a sign of welcoming the year 2024. Rotary Spinning awarded the lucky ones with the gifts and accolades. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Passengers aboard the Horizon-bound bus traveling from Kampala to Kisoro were shocked by an unfortunate incident involving the death of a Rwandan national. The deceased, identified as James Tuyizere, based on his national identity card indicating he was 23 years old, passed away while en route. According to Hamis Magomu, near the deceased was brought onto the bus by an unidentified person who even covered the cost of his transport.
This morning at Kabale police station, we received the sudden death report of one of the passengers who was on board on Horizon bus, registration number UAM 218H. It's alleged that this passenger was brought on board at Kampala and he was traveling to Kisoro. But along the route, he started vomiting severely, and instead the bus officials reallocated him to the back seat of the bus. Unfortunately, when they reached Ntungamu area, he passed on. So these people decided to stop at Kabale police station at around 10 in the morning and registered this incident. When we checked on him, his national ID was the names of James Tuyizere, 23 years, and Rwandese by nationality. We have initiated inquiries.
Now, Persons with disabilities in Aleptong district are seeking support with assistive devices to ease mobility in accessing social services. They made this appeal while receiving 30 wheelchairs from the government chief whip yesterday in Ajuri County.
Born in 2009, Peter and the twin brother never had a mobility challenge, but one time on their way to school, something happened. The twin brothers got crippled the same day and dropped out of school. Later on, their mother Sylvia Dongo was unable to carry them daily to school. Peter and his brother were among the lucky 30 to receive wheelchairs from the government chief whip.
I was moved and deeply touched by the number of persons with disabilities that I met in different rallies. This is a very, very great relief to them. It will ensure mobility, especially for the elders, mobility for our mothers, mobility for the young ones.
Walter Ochero said the device will help him access his computer training session in Aleptong town.
I'm about to complete my training, but I have nothing to start a living life. But I want to urge them to support me, to buy for me a computer. Then I start doing something to earn money.
We will continue rolling out this program until majority of them get wheelchairs and they are able to move, they are able to be productive, they are able to go to school, they are able to go to hospitals, they are able to go to the market.
It is a big relief, especially to the mothers and the caretakers of these children who are spending a lot of time carrying the children, supporting them to go to school.
As a person who is ever on the ground, we do pity their status. When you move around and you see some of them crippling or moving on muddy area.
Keep pushing for more and more, such that if we can realize up to 3/4 of the total number of people who are crippled.
22.1% of the population in Lango sub-region, rural areas are 15% and 12% in urban areas. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss, and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
UBC Business News tonight. Uganda's economy has continued to grow to a rate of about 5.2% in the financial year 2023-24, despite the external and internal shocks that started in 2019-2020. This was revealed by Ramadan Gowi, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury at the Ministry of Finance at the Ministry of Finance headquarters.
The size of the economy has expanded to Uganda shillings 184.89 trillion, which is approximately US dollars 49.5 billion by the end of June 2023. This has led to general improvement in the level of economic activity.
The drivers of this expansion in the economy were services, which grew at 6.2%, especially in trade, in tourism, in education, ICT, arts and entertainment.